there's a lot of other areas that are not as critical as the core operation of the plant, where there's tremendous opportunity for additional sensor data, additional software applications, additional analytics, as well as analytics and applications that run on top of the core control and optimize it, and figure out, okay, I'll use a building analogy because people can get that, because people will get that. I have a thermostat in every room that can keep the temperature exactly what it should be. Okay, but what should the temperature be in that room, right? There's a higher level application that's looking at, well, what meetings are scheduled today? Is that room not going to get used for 2 days? So it's telling the core control stuff what to do. Sorry, that was a long answer, but
No.
I mean,
My
it's a
mind was thinking about the differences in energy to keep the room cool versus the distance between the next use. So I'm like getting all nerdy over here in my head.
yeah.
Like, right, when does it like if it knows that there's going to be a meeting, does it know, is it smart enough to calculate the cost to either continue to air condition it or to drop it off and then start it back up based on the distance between when it will be occupied?
You could be an advanced control and optimization engineer. That is exactly the kind of stuff we do, right? So if you're running a power plant, sometimes they run on multiple fuels. So there's a continuous calculation about, when should we switch to fuel A instead of fuel B, based on the cost, but also based on, how efficient is a plant run on one versus the other? What's the expected load? If you look at a refinery, you got a crude oil coming in, and a big deal is, no necessarily two crudes are the same if you're somebody who buys on the smart market. What's the most profitable slate of products that we could be making, from this batch of crude based on what the prices are of jet fuel versus gasoline versus lube oil. That's the higher level kind of advanced production control that happens. We've been doing that stuff for a long time too. Again, that's another area where when people talk about these, we're like, well, yeah, we write models of how these plants run, and then we run optimization algorithms to figure out what they ought to be. But it's been very focused around production. Okay, not so much, as I said, collecting data and figuring out when's the optimum time to go, clean out this heat exchanger that might be fouling. Okay, uh, how long is this pump going to run, before it's likely to have a failure if we don't do maintenance on it? This control valve, do I need to, next time I have a shutdown, take it out and replace parts in it, or is it going to fail? Those are all new areas that we're applying sensor technology, software, analytics, all the more, let's say, traditional IoT, big data analytics kind of stuff that you hear talked about.